A new record of success has been set in Nigeria's economic trajectory as the country secured $900 million subscription in its first ever foreign currency domestic bond. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun, said the oversubscription is proof that investors now have confidence in Nigeria's economic stability and potential for growth. Edun also added that the achievement is a demonstration of government's commitment to diversifying funding sources amidst economic challenges. Emeka, let me start with you here. Raising over $900 million from its first ever domestic federal government US dollar bond issuance. What is the impact of this on the economy?
Well, the projected impact is that there will be more liquidity in the economy, more money for government to fund projects and, planned expenditure, and then again, the rate is lesser, 12%, and also a 7-year tenure. But the other side of it is that, it has to be, government has to take cognizance of the fact that this will also spike inflation. Yes. And then it will also crowd out the private sector from borrowing. So whatever that money is going to be spent on should be such that, because 7 years, for government, government projects are not things you just wake up and quickly do, like infrastructure, roads and all those things. They take time. So if there are projects that will take time, we just talked about the new map now that lasted for 10, 12 years, and then a new one. Yet we still have, we still had a disaster in Borno.
You don't see this as good news.
No, you didn't get what I said. I said it will bring in liquidity.
Okay, liquidity.
But you see, the issue about money is this. It's not just having it.
Okay.
You must make sure that where you plug it into will provide the means for repayment, and then also boost the economy in such a way that gradually we can reduce dependence on borrowing. Because right now, debt to GDP is 35%. It's high. So whatever it is, there should be that goal that gradually we can rely less on borrowing. It's good. Domestic borrowing is good. That at least it's not from a foreign source, but proper management of all the indices is very important, so that we don't lose sight of the goal. It's borrowed money, so we don't lose sight of the goal. 12%, 7 years is short, so we can also meet up with the repayment.
Getting dividends of 9.75% dividends, is this attractive enough to you, DK?
Yeah, I think we should do this a lot more. Oversubscribed to the tune of 180%. That's impressive.
Really impressive.
It's impressive, and it suggests that we could have even raised the bar. We are looking for funds. We are looking for real capital injection, and whatever we can do to achieve that, we need to do it, because this, the implication of this is that it gives you a stream of income that also enables you to deal with the volatility that you experience from time to time. Okay. And I have spoken in the past about the need to take the NNPC, for example, to the stock markets. What are we waiting for? We've seen countries that did it. When Petrobras was taken to the market, it set a record.
In Brazil?
Well, yes, because it was oversubscribed. It set a record. Look at Aramco in Saudi Arabia. When it was, when they had the IPO, it was so heavily oversubscribed that it overtook Apple as the most valuable company in the world. Yes, I was reading now that 5 days ago, Apple overtook everyone and became the most valuable company in the world by capital injection.
Okay.
the sort of money that we are looking for. Because NNPC has assets all over the place. If we would do that, because it worked for Petrobras, it worked for Aramco, we are going to reap bountiful dividends. But it takes courage to do some of these things.
Absolutely.
I know that if we try to do it, there are people who will shout, say, no, don't do it. That was the same way they misled President Yaradua and stopped him from selling those refineries. NNPC they are there. They will open their mouths wide. They will say, no, you can't do it. This is going to sell it to his friends. We hear these things. Malta, it is owned by Oando. You know, and some of the people that I used to respect, they were amongst people pointing at Oando, that Oando owned the Malta blending facility. Today, we know the owners. The owners came forward to say, it belongs to us. It's not a crime to have a blending plant somewhere. You understand? So, we have to take the big decisions. For me, I look at our exchange rates, and I will not stop talking about it. I don't believe that our currency should exchange. You can imagine CBN selling $20,000 to broad exchange operators at 1,580. That means they too agree that that is what the value of our currency should be. Come on. This, in my lifetime, this sort of thing, and all of the pains that our people are going through, those pains are related to the exchange rate volatility that we are facing. Customs will say, okay, to clear goods that is going to be pegged at the prevailing exchange rate. So if we have a stronger currency, what we are facing now in all of those states that border Niger Republic, where our grains are just shipped. I saw in Yobe State, I saw a truck stacked with Nigerian grains, almost the height of this building.
Yes, they are super trucks.
Very high, like a story building. They are moving across the border. Of course, they are going to tip people manning those borders. They are going across. They are going to sell. You know? So why won't people be hungry here? What we produce, because some people will offer a lot more. We are shipping, our people are shipping what we produce across the border because our currency is weak. Today, people are saying, the petrol, this, it should be this and that. How? What are we talking about? The landing costs will keep going up if we do not do something about the exchange rate.
Okay,
these are things that Nigerians must know. I saw somebody on TV asking, why should Nigerian crude oil, why should it be more expensive than the one imported? Of course, the Nigerian crude oil is the most expensive in the world and is the best in the world.
Low sulfur content.
Somebody told me about crude oil from Malaysia. Of course, it's very good too, but they don't even produce close to what we produce. That is that rarefied class. The rarefied class of crude oil that comes from Malaysia. It's not close to what the quantum that we produce. So they cannot even compete with us. We have the best crude oil in the world, and they refer to the Nigerian crude oil as the Lamborghini of the industry.
Sweet crude, yes.
They refer to it as the Lamborghini of the industry. And it usually sells at about $5 higher than WTI from Texas. So people need to know this thing. If they say our crude oil is about $5 higher, just check the pricing template. You will see that it's always more expensive than the other international brand. This is something that anybody can verify. So you can't be saying, how can Nigerian crude oil be more expensive than most countries of the world? When they buy Nigerian crude oil, you know what they do? They go and buy those dirtier ones
and blend.
And then blend with our own.
That is it.
Nobody simply buys Nigerian crude oil and refines it.
No.
You just have to be...
You blend because it is such a high class that at the end of the day, it is not going to even be profitable to you to simply blend it. These are things that many people don't know.
Okay,
and then they'll be arguing, they'll say, why? You ask for information, you'll get it. You have to be a knowledge hunter to sit in a studio and be talking about issues that you are not educationally qualified. You have to first update yourself sufficiently so that you can talk with finality about those issues. Otherwise, don't simply sit down and be misleading Nigerians. Nigerian crude oil is the most sought after in the world and is the best in the world. It is the Lamborghini of the industry, and it is more expensive than others. So this is the thing.
I like how passionate VK is taking this issue, and it's talking about our forex. I just hope the CBN governor will do the right thing.
That's his mandate. If he keeps going up, then he knows that it's not doing it.
But anyway, thank you so much, BK. Thank you so much for having this conversation. I really enjoy when it gets really passionate like this. Emeka, thank you very much for having this conversation.